My life's back. I'm happy. I'm here. And I've got lots of living to do. Every time I come back from a session, my friends will be like, oh, you've been to brain wellness again, haven't you? Because you're on cloud 9 and you've got all these positive things happening, and yeah, they'd absolutely notice. And then they could also sort of see the stages that I went through. They'd see each stage, and yeah, I had a lot of comments from family and friends about, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing differently? Like, you seem really happy, you seem really positive, you're really focused. And the thing that I love is that, oh, you're like really glowing. Okay, so why I came into the Brain Wellness Spa, I was in a really dark place and I wanted to get some help. And although I'd been to counsellors and other people before, I wanted to try something that was different. My main issue was grief. So my main issue was grief about dealing with the loss of family members over a period of years, and also the ending of a relationship that was about 9 years old. So that was quite traumatic, and I was dealing with a lot of grief that seemed to just back on from year to year to year to year. And I just knew that I was getting in a place or getting in a hole that I just couldn't get out of. It was impacting me far more than I realised. I had no idea how much impact it had on me. It was impacting my work, to the point that my employers, knew something was going on. I didn't share that with my employers. I wasn't really comfortable with that. But it was really impacting my career. It's impacting my social life and my home life. But I think the biggest thing about coming here was I didn't understand how much it was impacting me across all areas of my life. And coming here helped me understand that. Yeah, so the first session I was quite hesitant because I didn't know what to expect, but I was also excited because I thought this is something really different, and that's what I was looking for. But I didn't know what to expect, and I'd been on the website and I watched some of these testimonials and I was like, wow, they're quite impactful, the testimonials. You could see lots of people had been dealing with some really significant life issues and they just were glowing afterwards. And I'm like, can that really be true? Does it really work? And so when I was talking to Rachel in my first session, it's about, how does it work, and how does it work? What do we do? And so she explained all that to me, and I still went away and had lots of thoughts and feelings about, I'm not sure how this is going to resolve the things that I've been going through. But the first session was amazing. You just come out of there floating on cloud 9. You had a little bit of things to think about during the week, and then you come back the next week and it was just a really good kickstart, and it just got better week after week. Yes. The first time I noticed a difference in my life was actually after week 1. I know that sounds a bit extreme, but it just lightened my heart and hope, and I had hoped that this program would help. So that first session was really interesting, but significant impact in my life was probably about the session 4 or 5. I just noticed straight away that I had much more clarity in my mind. Grief wasn't an issue for me to deal with. I just felt happiness in my life for the first time in such a very, very long time. Well, I felt that my interpersonal relationships were better. Like, I was more present, and I could focus on what was going on more at work. I was sleeping better. I hadn't been sleeping well for years, and I was very conscious of things that I needed to be thinking and doing. And once I was, instead of thinking about the past or grieving about the past, I could focus on being in the present and then start planning for the first time in forever what a future might look like. I've always had a self-esteem issue, and I don't really like to discuss that. I find that really hard to talk about, but I spoke to Rachel about that in the beginning, and I didn't really focus on it, but that was one of the first things that started to improve as well. So everything sort of improved at the same time. That was really, really good. And the other thing I had was really bad anxiety for no reason at all. All sorts of things could set me off. And so the self-esteem and the anxiety and the grief and that real flat sort of feeling all was ticking along and improving week to week. It was quite a revelation. Well, how I was before I came in was quite flat. I just felt I had no direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. After my relationship ended, and all that grief, I was just in this trap that I couldn't get out of. So what I found was a whole heap of clarity come out of my sessions, and it just gave me a present and a future. So since starting here, I've implemented some changes, and the beneficial ones that I love are the audio programs. So listening to those, it's just lovely, relaxing, and you get some you time, and afterwards you feel great. And so I'm registered to get any ones that I want. So if I'm needing to focus on something, I can just listen to the audios, and that's really good. And I know when I'm sort of starting to fall off the wagon and using old thought processes and patterns, that if I put those on and listen to them for a couple of nights, or diary out what's going on, yeah, right, I'm back on track again. Journaling is something that's new. Rachel and I were talking about that. I had done it in the past, but I just found it too difficult in the way that I was feeling before I come. But I found it really easy journaling now, and it really helps you understand what angst you're going through in the day, or you had a horrible day, or you had a grumpy day, and you try to work out what's bugging me and why am I feeling like this, and I don't want to go down that road again. And so journaling really helps with that. So journaling at night and then listening to audio is just such a great way to go to sleep. Just get it out, get it on paper, and then you can reflect on it during the week and then look back and see if there's any patterns that you're still bringing up. And another thing Rachel talked about, so I was sort of wanting to understand what my passions are and what I really like to do in life, and my jobs have always been quite really sales focused and unrewarding, and it's, you know, at this time in life it's quite challenging to transition career, but so Rachel and I have been working on that as well, and I'm studying counselling now. Oh, wow. So I feel like I've got a lot to give back to others, and I've been through a lot, and this program that I've been doing with brain wellness has been amazing for that. So I've got a new focus in life, which I'm so excited about. Yes, my brain on an average day goes through lots of different processes, but it's focused in the present and I can concentrate, which is really good. But also too, during the day you can just be. So, you know, we're always doing things all the time, but sometimes you just have to sit back for a minute and be. So my brain will have a little chat together, what's going on, have a reflection moment. Why is today not feeling so good, or why is today feeling so good, and just reinforcing all of those positive abundance mindsets that the program teaches you to do, and that's what happens during my day. Yes, my darkest moment during grief, or just my life over the last few years, was I gave up. I didn't want to do anything anymore. I didn't want to be here anymore. I couldn't see a future. And so the darkest days are those days when you just getting up, putting one foot in front of the other, getting to work, and then you just get home and you're so exhausted that you've got no choice but to rest or sleep. And you just can't, you're not living, you're just existing. And those were the darkest days. Yeah, so my mindset or process to grief now is I remember my loved ones with happiness and really fond memories, so there's like new attachments to that. So I can think about all my family members that have passed away and have really good moments. So instead of waking up in the morning with this feeling of dread and this horrible weight on your shoulders, you can wake up in the morning and go, oh, so great to think about you this morning, and I'm just remembering all these great things that we shared together in our lives. And it's just a happiness. I can think about my family and my relatives with happiness. It's really, really cool. Yeah, finding brain wellness was a revelation and a really great life-changing move for me. I don't know where I'd be if I hadn't have come here. I don't know what I would be doing. I couldn't see a future, so this has given me back my present and my future, and I'm going to keep doing as many of the courses as I can to keep myself on track and well and growing and learning and being really mentally healthy, because all of us suffer from some mental type of illness throughout our life, and this is life-changing. And I'd absolutely recommend, if you've got hesitation, just come here and try it. Just do it. I actually think that everyone can benefit from coming to brain wellness, whether it's you want to do self-development, or whether you're struggling with life, grief, death, suicide, traumatic events in life. I absolutely believe everyone can benefit from coming here. I recommend it to all my family and friends. I think maybe the main thing I'm finding with maybe younger people as well, and not just younger people, even older people, that anxiety is such a big thing in our community, and mental health is such a big thing in our community. And what resonates with me is anxiety is a real challenging type of thing to overcome, and it comes and goes through your life, or it might be consistent. But I just feel that, like, my niece was coming here, for example, and she might have been struggling with some anxiety, and these guys are in their 20s, and it's a very busy world out there, and we're so busy doing the thing. I would recommend people stop, invest in themselves, and come here and just start getting better and start growing and learning. It's a great investment.